Alright, so here's the outro to our video. We're going to show you some clips of the inside of the building there. We decided to make this a two-part video because of incidences that took place. And in the second video, actually in this video, we were going to explain the things that took place, the things that happened, and our takes on things. And like I said, I did speak to Ray Mandarini Jr., that is, about the situation, which he's going to take care of, which is going to be okay. So I hope you enjoy this, and peace out. Don't forget to like and hit that subscribe button. This is where I got the paranormal experience. This was the room that I stood in. I'll do a quick walk down the hall and I will show you where the vibes were coming from. The three rooms interconnected. Ground. Why is it that I'm capturing something whenever there's this kind of tiling? So, this is generally where you start the tour. For us, we were only given a 20-minute time for a massive portion of the building. I know you got a few things that you would like to say on that.
Well, one, we were promised more than 20 minutes.
Online. And we will show you that.
Two, when we did eventually get here, which took forever because the tour guide decided she wanted to go on about every little detail unnecessarily, we were informed about this 20 minutes when we weren't expecting that. So now we're on some sort of time crunch to explore this building, which isn't just one solid building. It's actually two buildings connected by a huge hallway. And somehow we're expected to explore this entire structure and take photos and do videos and naturally just explore in general within 20 minutes time. That's not fucking possible.
Impossible, yeah.
So to expect us to get that done reasonably within 20 minutes is asinine. And completely just fucked up, to put it in the lack of better words.
Now, we were 10 minutes behind. We did not watch the time. We were not paying attention. This shit sort of happens.
Yeah, because you're enthusiastically doing what you like to do. The last thing you're going to do is be like, oh,
yeah, we got this, we got that. Yeah, exactly. We're not going to do that. Coming to find out, we're 10 minutes behind. So here I am laughing because I know there's going to be some type of consequence. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to endure what's coming to me. And I'm going to take whatever's coming to me and take responsibility for my actions because I fucked up. So,
yeah,
with that being said there.
And I was the one that asked, what time is it? Because eventually, I got done doing a little bit of video project that I got done doing. So naturally, I was curious to see how much time we had left. So I asked what time it is because I do want to be somewhat responsible, even though we are doing something that we are passionately into doing. And then he's like, "Oh, it was 10 minutes past the time that we were supposed to."
Well, fuck.
Fuck, basically. So then we packed up real quick, and then we were gonna book ass to, the meetup location because we do want to try to at least make up for the time. But instead, we were met with yelling.
The guy, she flipped out at us, she screamed at us, she yelled at us, and she thought that we had gotten back into the restricted area in which we were not told. And sure enough, yes, we did end up in the restricted area, which we were not told that we couldn't go back there. And this is where she threatened us.
What happened was when we were actually heading her way, or the way that we were supposed to go to meet up with everyone, was her yelling, which now, of course, I thought was her just trying to yell so, we would hear her to get, our attention, which I was fine with. It makes sense. It's a big building. You're going to yell to get, people's attention. So naturally, I didn't think much of it, so I was still making my way that way. But even after we were within, say, arm's length of distance, she continued to yell with such a fury, and even I'd say scream at us unnecessarily. You would think that we were, destroying the property or doing something completely egregious, law-breaking, or whatever you want to call it, when in reality all we did was show up 10 minutes late.
And like I said, we fucked up. We made that poor choice. It happened. Mistakes will happen.
It was an accident. We didn't intentionally show up.
We were like, since we were given this we're only given this 20 minutes, fuck it. We're going to spend an extra 10 minutes and do whatever we want. Fuck the group, fuck the guide, and fuck that. No! We were legitimately off by 10 minutes. Accidentally, absolutely. We fucked up.
And,
it happens.
So a little bit of yelling, I can get that, but to the point in which she did was so unnecessary. This Catherine person. She literally followed us the way out, and then the entire way out she was yelling at us and reprimanding us. Again, as if we broke the law, as if we did something so egregious and so just beyond words of egregiousness that she felt this fury to just continue to scream and yell and reprimand. And then we come out through this door, to come with the rest of the group, as if her yelling at us wasn't enough.
Wasn't good enough.
She waited until both of us were out here in front of the entire group, and then threatened us
Proceeded to threaten to have us banned from the property.
Again, mind you, this is only because we were 10 minutes late. So she embarrassed and humiliated us in front of the entire group.
And there were areas that, yes, we did go into that we didn't know we were supposed to go into. So there was a really bad lack of communication.
Yep.
Because we were not told.
So there was errors on not only our part because of the whole being 10 minutes late thing, but
that was our fault.
But on her end as well. And she was so self-righteous that she felt the need to embarrass and humiliate us in front of the group and yell at us the entire way out. Unacceptable, unprofessional.
So we ended up here where I had to address to the guide why exactly I was laughing. When he asked me what time it was and I realized we were 10 minutes behind, I started laughing because we were 10 minutes, like I said, we were 10 minutes behind. And I'm like, there's no means in hiding behind it. There's no means of trying to defend or whatever. I'm going to accept whatever's coming to me as is. And so I'm like, you know what? I fucked up. It happens. So with you...
With me, it was just shocking because of the fact that it was all over 10 minutes being late. Now in my situation, I would be asking, why were you late? Because it's more important to understand the reason why someone was late. What if something happened? What if he fell? What if I fell? What if one of us got injured or something happened that made us so we were late against our will?
Absolutely.
So I come from a place of sympathy and empathy. And so she was so callous. And so...
She just blew it off as if it was nothing.
Right. She cared more about numbers and time than she did human beings. she didn't come from a place of compassion, empathy, or any sort of sympathy. It was all just this bottled up rage being unleashed towards us over being late for 10 minutes. And to me, that's pretty screwed up, honestly.
Even going into the restricted area, which we were not told about.
Even if she knew about that to begin with, which she didn't, because by the time we got to her, we were past, we were in the legit area. So as far as she was concerned, all we were was 10 minutes late.
She had asked us if we were in the restricted area, and I'm like, I don't know. And in my mind, I'm like, what restricted area? You never told us of the restricted area.
Exactly.
So now, next, we're going to get into the outcome of this.
But first, I just want to point out here is that there's a difference between being firm and fair versus authoritarian and completely out of control. Clearly, she demonstrated that she is incapable of controlling her emotions, because her outburst clearly showed this, that she cannot handle this position.
If I had filmed this, I would show it to you.
So I'll just leave it at that for the time being.
Alright, so I'm going to show you guys that this whole back area right here is, yes, the restricted area. We did not know that. When I had actually spoken to the director of the property, Ray Minervini, which, by the way, thank you for taking the time and effort to speak with us on this. That means the world to me. We were completely unaware that this was an area that we could not go into. And somehow she found out, or accused.
She assumed.
She assumed, thank you, that we were back there. We did not know that this was the restricted area. And it was because apparently when we went back here was when she had threatened us in front of the entire crowd. I know you've got a bunch of things you'd like to say yourself before I go any further.
Note that you can actually go in half of this. It's just there's these wooden things that are kind of placed at the end over here that you're not supposed to. So you can go in this dining room area, but there's a certain point in which you cannot continue beyond, which wasn't made clear at all, by the way. There weren't even signs. Nothing at all.
Nothing stating that we couldn't go back there.
Exactly. So,
and we were not told that we couldn't go back beyond that area.
Exactly. So I just want to make that as a note as well before I continue. So with that said, I just want to point out that to kind of add on to what I was saying in the previous location about how unprofessional she was and how she can't control her emotions, is that because she cannot control her emotions and she doesn't have the discipline and the mental acuity to control herself reactionatory wise, it resulted in what we had to endure, which was an overreaction. She overreacts to, negative events or things that she doesn't like. And so that's kind of just showing that she's someone who just doesn't have the wherewithal or mental stability or emotional stability, rather, to react as a normal person would. Like I was saying before, I'd be curious to be like, did something happen? Holy shit, why are you guys 10 minutes late? I'd be very, very compassionate about it.
If I were in her shoes and I realized I had a couple people that were behind, I would have been like, are you guys okay? Are you guys all right? I was kind of really worried about you guys. Well, it looks like you guys are safe. Okay, that's good. You got people that are a little upset that they're having to wait a little bit extra. I think it's important that you should probably apologize to the guests. I think that'd be a good idea. And then ask, did you guys go into the restricted area? And if they said, well, yeah, or we don't know, then I should have told you. Sorry, but
don't do it again.
Please, yeah, exactly. Please don't do it again, because we are liable if you get hurt.
Yep. So again, it's all about your social capability, your ability to communicate in a situation that's either distressful or a negative event. But in her case, she's extremely dramatic, overreactive, and quite immature, unfortunately. Because someone of her age should be better stabilized emotionality-wise and reactionatory-wise. So I just wanted to get that said out of the way.
You know, so overall, did we have a good experience in the building? We did.
Yes, in fact,
Yes, we did. It
With
was-
all the shit we've been going on.
Yeah, it was a great experience. You could see in the video, you know, but the fact of the lack of communication and the lack of, you know, explaining and discipline, it did not end well. I did, however, speak to the director of operations, Mr. Ray Minervini, and if you're watching this, I know I've said that before, I once again thank you for taking the time and effort to watch our video. We greatly appreciate that. And the outcome of it is that he is going to spend a little extra time speaking with the guides, about having to maybe more spelling things out and making it so that they won't go into the restricted area, and making sure that they're more safe and all. He, however, is not going to ban us from the property, which is good. And he did also say that he's going to speak to the individual who this Catherine character reacted towards us the way that she did. So you guys are going to have a much better experience than what we had.
Right.
And I'm grateful for that.
Yes, because you used a good example off camera about what if someone with anger issues that was mentally defective or violent was to be on that tour, and she approached him or her as she approached us. How would that person react?
Exactly. You know, I made the statement, you know, what if you got someone that lives with severe mental illness and they have a history of violent tendencies and they've been hospitalized several times because of these reactions? You don't know this. No one is going to know this. So it's probably in your best interest, regardless of how upset you may get, to, you know, really keep your calm with that, because things could have ended up much worse than what we had.
Exactly, because it could have been her in danger, her in, you know, a bad
Because of their
situation.
reactions.
Exactly.
You don't know this.
Exactly. You never know what you're dealing with, especially in these nowadays times. Just like you don't know if someone's caring. You don't know if someone's going to react violently. So you want to keep yourself safe as a guide, as someone who's in a position of authority. You know that you need to be firm, and that's fine. But know the line between firm and overreacting.
Yes. Now understand, I'm an individual that lives with mental illness. I'm going to say this before I go any further. I will not use mental illness as a crutch to get away with things.
Correct.
All right? I'm an individual, I can't talk well right now, that lives with severe anxiety. I'm an individual that lives with high-functioning autism. But yet, I know my symptoms. I know how to treat things because I'm socially aware. But there are some people who they've got it more severe than others, but they're unable to.
Yeah.
And they could very well react.
Exactly.
You don't know.
So it's not only for the safety of others, but for the guide people themselves that you need to stay calm and level and firm.
The entire time.
You're right, because after that occurred, I was completely uncomfortable for the rest of the time because I was around this tour guide person who just embarrassed us and humiliated us in front of the entire rest of the group. So I kind of wanted to scurry away because I was like, well, now I'm just fucking uncomfortable. You know, I wasn't enjoying the tunnels part because I was just thinking, well, now what's up?
We were at the point to where we just wanted to say, you know what, fuck it, we're not going to do this. Here's the pass, fuck you.
Right, you know, and so I was completely uncomfortable, and it was just, that wasn't cool. You know, it just
I was
affected
fucking
the rest
livid.
of my tour, unfortunately.
I couldn't function at work that whole that whole day because of that.
Right.
Because of my mental illness.
Right. Yeah. So I just want to make that a note. Just stay safe.
Yeah. So with that, we're going to sign out, and that was our explanation. We did have a good experience, but the outcome of it, not so much.
Right. Just make it clear. We did have a good time. The overall experience was great. We're just griping about this particular event. That's all.
And once again, Ray, I can't seriously thank you enough for taking the time to talk with me and resolving the issue as it is. You are awesome. I love you to death. You are awesome.
Until next time.